the lockdown?
Oh man, since it started here in Portugal, like 2 March maybe 2 3 months ago, I think. Yeah, I've been super restricted with the lockdown, but eventually, like, I grow tired. I grew tired of it. Just I need to go run to the streets and just do some physical exercise.
Yeah,
Because staying in your home all day long, like sometimes you're not doing anything because it's the weekends and you don't work at the weekends, I guess. So watch a movie, or if you are used to watching a movie or a web series or playing video games, you grow tired of it because doing the same thing for months,
yeah,
you know, it grows. You just get tired of doing the same thing. So you just gotta go outside. You miss your friends, you miss family members, you miss having a few beers with your friends.
yeah. It is important, man. It is so important.
It's super important, of
Yeah,
course.
like 8 days ago, last weekend, I went out just to walk, with a friend of mine,
Yeah,
just to go to a park. And it's been like 3 months that I didn't do that, so I went to a park to walk, and
yeah,
I saw a lot of people there without
yeah,
protection, a lot of people there like in groups, training
yeah.
together, and I was like, man, how is
What the
this
hell is
possible?
going on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, what the hell is going on here? Like,
Here in Portugal, we have the same
fuck,
problem, but with beaches. The beaches are full of people. Like nothing is
nah,
going on.
bro.
And that worries.
There's something with your video. It's like freeze a bit.
Oh, I have lag on the webcam.
How's that?
Let me check. Do you still have lag on the video?
Okay, I don't know what does that mean, but I will share. I will start sharing the link.
Oh, I have lag on the webcam.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the video froze. Okay, now I'm on the YouTube.
Oh, you're looking at the YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video and it froze.
Yeah, it's like you're you're talking in stop motion.
It's weird. Why is that happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why? I think it's a.
It's weird.
Oh, I'm hearing myself. God damn it. Like 1 minute
Don't
later.
worry, it's fine. So first of all, I will speak in Spanish a bit. Chicos, buenos días a los que nos están viendo. Comenten por ahí quién está conectado. Hello, I don't know if people that are connected speak in Spanish or in English or Portuguese. I'm so sorry, I don't speak Portuguese, but I like to learn how to do it. So, hello guys, good morning here in Colombia. Buenos días chicos en Colombia. Gracias por acompañarnos. Entonces, esperemos un momentico más y ya en breve iniciamos. ¿Listos chicos? Entonces váyanse acomodando, saluden por el chat. ¿Listos? Prenderé la luz. Ok. Yeah. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Because when I talk to you, I was remembering all the things that we do in the Trojan horse was a unicorn, man. And it was
Man,
really great,
what an
like
event.
the
What an
talks.
event. It was amazing.
Yeah, all the talk that we
So,
had with Nuno while we were walking from the venue to the apartment,
the
super
apartment, yeah,
good.
man.
At 3 a.m. in the morning, hoping,
Super tired, right?
yeah, hoping
Like,
that
okay.
Maria is in the apartment because we didn't have keys.
Oh, the key issues. God damn. Yeah.
That was
We were
crazy.
supposed to make a copy of those keys, but we were like, well, I guess we won't need them. It's just a couple of days, but we should have done that. We should have made a copy of the key.
Yeah, we should have done it. It was a great issue, but it was fun. I mean, it was so fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
Not about the cockroaches.
Oh man,
The issue,
that's
and
crazy.
those.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. God
Uh,
damn.
so, so you could manage to do something with your cam, which is fine. So let's start.
Oh, you want me to fix the lag? Try and fix it?
Is it possible? Or if not, don't worry. It's
I don't
just
know. I think it's about internet connection, or my webcam has
okay.
like 20 is 20 years old already, so
Okay.
it's on the deadline, perhaps. I don't know.
Okay. So here we have Tiago Sarcasmo, Catarina Loja, Katia Carita, Forza Edu, go Eduardo. See
Those are my friends here in
the
my hometown.
the
They're
Cristiano
amazing.
Ronaldo of the concept art. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks,
Sneaky
guys.
John, hi, hola, hola. Hey, chicos, how are you? Guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll start soon. I will start sharing this as well here. So if you can share as well that you're live now, let's go for it. And okay. Okay, Miguel Condesa, how do you pronounce his name?
Condesa.
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 Bom
Yeah.
dia, bom dia.
See, you're learning Portuguese already.
Just a bit, just to,
Little by little.
yeah, just how do you say that, like survive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
we understand Spanish a little bit, so you can talk in Spanish and we can understand. But don't ask me to speak in Spanish because I know zero Spanish. Okay, but I
let's
understand you.
we will try to do it like later when we are more in the conversation to speak in Spanish to have a fluent Spanish and Portuguese conversation.
Yes.
So Eduardo, first of all, I like you. Um, First of all, thank you very much for
Oh,
joining
thank
me,
you for having me.
for joining me
Thank you for
here
having me.
in these live sessions that we are doing every single Sunday with different artists. We've had really great artists here. Last week we had the great Soren Zaragoza
So then,
from
yes,
Mexico. I don't know if you met him when you were there in Malta the first time, maybe?
I met him. I greeted him like in 2017 at Trojan Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see him, didn't saw him at Malta on the last event. But yeah, man, I know his work. Pretty amazing dude, super friendly, and he has some talent, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he was like, man, I was banned in Facebook like 8 times in this year. Why? Why is that? I don't know. Maybe a meme, maybe a meme, maybe a meme that I posted there. So he's like being banned every single day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, and tell us a bit about yourself, man.
Well, I am a concept artist, right? I've been working freelance for the past 3 years now, and I've been working with stage design, VR titles, AR titles, video game titles for consoles and PC, and film too. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Um, what I've been doing on these 3 years, right? A lot of projects for mobile even, and yeah, and I took a bachelor degree on Fine Arts Academy here in Lisbon,
Amazing.
uh, 3 years. Uh, and then I've been taking some online courses too, like Ricardo Lima's keyframe course on CGMA. And I also did a foundation course on ZBrush back in 2016. And that's pretty much my education. Of course, aside from YouTube, because you can learn a lot from YouTube, right?
YouTube is a great source of knowledge.
Yes,
If you
it
know,
is.
if you know what kind of videos you should watch, you can learn a lot.
Hmm.
If you don't know,
Of
you
course.
can get like a mess in your head. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
you'll
That's
be
crazy.
lost eventually. You don't know where to focus your
Hmm.
attention, you know? You get super lost on what, oh, character design, or maybe environment design, or 3D, or I don't
Yeah.
know, something else, and you get super lost on what you should actually watch and learn. So you need
But
to filter all of those videos and see what matters to you.
yeah, it happens the same with all the information that you have in the internet. You know, you
Yeah,
can find
super accessible.
a lot of resources there right now. Internet is super accessible, as you said. But if you
Yes,
don't know what path do you have to take, it is really hard, to know where to go and to know, you know, how to do it.
absolutely, absolutely. You can go the wrong path,
That's
and actually nowadays it's some beginner artists get very confused because they see these super overpowered gumroads on Blender on how to do real pretty images, but they jump the fundamentals, and
exactly.
they forget about the fundamentals. And what do these tutorials serve to you if you don't know the fundamentals, right? Like, what does make an image good? Like good composition, good value knowledge, good color knowledge. All of that matters before you jump to those tutorials. And it can be somehow deceiving. It's not deceiving because the pros watch these tutorials and they're like, well, yeah, I already know the foundations, the fundamentals, sorry. And now these are just tools. Now I can get my images, really sharpen up my images to a more complete stage, like really polished pieces, but they know the fundamentals, you know.
Yeah, I think that's
And
the
a lot
most
of
important part.
beginner artists jump that phase. That's really, really important.
It happens a lot that with young artists, with students that they want to go really fast, to the goal. And
Yeah,
right now they see a lot of tutorials out there, and they try, and they think that it's super easy to go there. And as you said, they skip fundamentals. And
of
for me,
course.
fundamentals are, yeah, like the base of everything else that you can construct over it. Because,
Of
and,
course.
and it took me like 3 years to understand it, because I was the one
Mhm.
that I wanted to be like, oh yeah, I want to work for Blur Studios, and I will know how to learn how to do character art. And then I was like, in Trojan Horse was a unicorn. Frank Seng told me like, yeah, but where are the head planes? Where are the
Mhm.
what is the structure? What is the
Yeah,
proportions? And like, where are the
of course.
bones? And I was like, what? What is that? And then I had to
Yeah,
come.
absolutely.
I had to come back to my home, start learning what the hell was the head planes and what the hell is the structure. And now I understand that I was
Yeah,
so wrong. I was so fucking
yeah.
wrong.
I mean,
And yeah,
in rare cases, these young artists can make like super amazing pictures with these new tutorials. But if they don't know the fundamentals, they don't know why those pictures look good.
yeah.
I mean, you need to know why it looks good, the basic rules, and then you just use those gumroads as tools. You gotta really focus on the craft,
I think it's
the
it's
what's behind the curtains,
yeah.
let's say, the knowledge.
First of all, we need to understand reality so we can transform it. So we
Yes.
can make something new about it. Tell me why did you start in this industry? Why did you start like doing work for video games and for movies and
Oh, oh, well, I went freelance as soon as I graduated
yeah.
from college. Uh, but it took me about half a year to get a single gig because nobody knows you at the beginning, right? You're just starting out in the industry. It's always hard to get your first jobs, your first gigs. And yeah, it took me about 6 months, 7 months to get my first job, and it was for a mobile game. I don't even remember the theme of it. I think it was a fighting game. The stage in Miami. I think I still have that piece over here on my computer, but it's definitely lost on these folders. But yeah, that was my first piece that I did. as a freelancer. And then I did a bunch of other small gigs later, like for mobile too, more mobile titles that I haven't seen any of them since then, you know.
Okay.
I don't know if went scrapped ideas or whatever, but small indie games. And then just at the beginning of 2019, I got my first AAA gig. And they reached me out instead of me reaching them.
That's great.
It's like my whole freelance experience has been since the beginning was like, okay, here is my portfolio. Can you give me this job? And they're like, oh, I guess you can join us. Yeah, sure, why not? And they paid me like a fair amount of money. But uh, one of my personal pieces got me that AAA gig, right? So they reached me out because I shared this picture on Level Up. Yeah, Level Up, definitely. And that
Okay.
was the piece that got me that job, that task too. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? What do you mean you want me to work with me? Like, I'm supposed to reach you out, not you, not the other way around, you know?
Can
I
you
was
show
super,
us that image?
what, the first one that I did?
Yeah, the one that gives you the your first AAA gig.
Oh, unfortunately, that's NDA.
Oh, I
I
see it.
can't.
I thought it was like a personal project.
Oh, the image that got me the AAA gig.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I was not going to show you what I worked on, like for that title. But
No,
yeah,
no, no.
I
We,
can show you
I
the
love
image.
it, man. But I cannot control that people are going to record it or take a piece of it.
Exactly. It will get leaked eventually.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's like, who was the one who was responsible of this?
And they will hunt me down.
Yeah. And he was like,
Oh, where's
no,
my
no, no, it was
cat?
his fault. Okay, we have here Nuno. Hello, Nuno. How are you?
No, no, greetings. No, no.
Juan Carlos Estela.
Okay, I actually attached the link
Yeah.
to the chat.
Or can you
Yep.
share your screen?
Or that, yeah. Sure, why not?
I think it's better so we can like go deep in your art station and we can talk about your some
Oh,
projects.
yeah, absolutely. How do you share screen and
I think you have to take the mouse in the bottom part at the right.
yeah, yeah.
There is like
Oh, I think I got it.
yeah, it's like present now or something like that.
Ah, okay, here we go. Is it appearing?
Exactly, man.
Nice. I love
Nice.
when we don't have technical problems. It's amazing. It's
Perfect life,
amazing.
you know.
Yeah. But here it is. This is my first, the image that actually got me the first AAA gig, right? You're seeing it, right?
That's nice. It is really nice, man. And
Oh, okay.
what
Thanks,
do you,
man.
based on this, how important do you think is that people do personal work?
Um, Mainly because probably your personal projects, your personal work, will eventually get you the jobs. Apparently, like the pros say it, and by experience, apparently it works. So by doing your personal pieces, people eventually keep them posted on social media. Of course, you got to put your work out there, and after that, yeah, I think studios, they think you're a good fit, they will reach you out. Like, definitely.
Okay, that's true, man. And we were talking about that with Soren too. Personal job,
Hmm.
personal work is like super important because sometimes that separates you from the other people, from the other artists. You know,
Yeah.
because it's your style, it's what you love to do in a daily
Yeah.
basis, and people value it a lot. What
Yeah,
is what?
they actually feel your sensibility to things, how you demonstrate, how you register those small details on your decision making
And
skills
without
on,
direction.
yeah, direction, basically. Yeah, fundamentally,
That's
yeah, direction.
that's great. What is the story behind this image?
Uh, this was just an image inspired by Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I thought about, yeah, what if this character just entered um, its home castle, like its kingdom, and it was fully raided by bandits or mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think this piece is named Late Arrival. So yeah, this character just has a late arrival on its kingdom. Uh, yeah, this was just a standalone piece. It wasn't really. It doesn't have much depth to it, much story behind it. Um, yeah, this was, I mean, 2 years ago, I think.
Okay, but I think
So
that's amazing. I mean, you did
do you think
this
it still holds
right
up?
right out of your school, and it's great. It's great. I mean, it's a great piece. In your pipeline,
Thanks.
do you use 3D?
A lot, a lot lately.
Okay.
So in this piece, I was starting out on 3D, so it has about 20% 3D in this, and the rest is just 20, like 15 and 20% on 3D on this image, and the rest is just overpainting and photo bashing and polishing here and there. It took me a while to polish this image, but I think the 3D, yeah, I use nowadays. I use a lot 3D. Yeah, and ZBrush mainly. Blender, I'm starting out with Blender. I totally advise people to start learning Blender. It's super cool. Allows you to do lots of stuff.
I need to start learning, man. I haven't started learning Blender, and a lot of people have told me like I have to do it. I have to start learning Ivy. Eevee? You say Ivy? Eevee? I don't
Eevee,
know.
yeah,
Eevee,
Eevee.
yeah, and start sculpting in Blender too. So I think it's a great tool. I need to start doing it.
Yeah, Blender is like ZBrush and Keyshot and Octane and a lot of other
And
programs
3D
joined
Max and
together.
Maya.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's free. Why shouldn't you learn it? It's available to you.
Yeah, I promise that as soon as I get out of all this stuff, I'm going to start learning.
Hmm.
That's a promise
Yeah,
for you, all of you
you
guys.
can you can do like a full animation movie in Blender.
Yeah,
Can you imagine? You can make a Pixar movie in Blender.
just in
It's
Blender,
insane, right?
without getting out of it.
Yeah, you need like 1,000 PCs to render the images, but
Yeah, bro.
but I mean, it's possible.
I am doing a kind of a short film. No, it's like a video for an art event that I'm organizing, and I'm doing it
Hmm.
by myself in 3ds Max, and it's looking great. But I need
Nice.
like 50 PCs to render it on time.
I know, right? I
It's
tried to render
crazy.
a simple 3-second animation in Blender, and it took me almost 24 hours to render like 2 seconds.
Eduardo, how has your
Yes.
pipeline changed since 3 years ago until now?
Uh, I mean, of course, I practiced my fundamentals. Like, sometimes I skip it. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm going to be, nah, screw studies. I just want to make cool images, right? But yeah, it's super important. You should definitely not skip the fundamentals. But what changed? Well, I used Keyshot to render my images, and Keyshot is good. But as soon as I knew that Blender implemented Eevee, the Eevee render system in it, I was like, sure, let me try it. And I loved it. I instantly loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
you were,
actually started learning Substance Painter 2 for texturing the 3D models. Super powerful software.
it
I
is,
also advise people. And all that together, I mean, you can do pretty cool stuff, right?
you were mentioning ZBrush. How do you use ZBrush in your pipeline? Can you share us like a
Mm.
more recent image to us?
How I use ZBrush.
Yeah, ZBrush.
Oh, sure. Well, let me open ZBrush.
Oh, thank you. No, I was like thinking about like where did you use ZBrush in your image, but if you want to show us That's crazy. That's
Oh,
great. I love
oh,
it.
where did I use it? Well, ZBrush in this image that I just showed you, this image over here. Um, I didn't use ZBrush in this. I think I used SketchUp to narrow down like cubes and
Perspectives and
some,
stuff.
yeah, just really rough 3D, and then I overpainted it all photos and brushwork and everything. But yeah, sure. Let me show you how I use my ZBrush.
Yeah, of course. Show us your wisdom.
Okay, actually, I thought about, well, I'm going to show you how I used ZBrush to make one of my pieces over here.
That's
I thought
amazing,
it could
man.
be fun. Give me just a second to reach it out.
No, don't worry, it's fine. We have
Ah, here
all
it is.
the day. Don't worry, man.
Here it is.
Guys, here in the live, if you have any question, don't hesitate. Ask it. I will ask Mr. Eduardo to show us to answer it. I don't know if you
Okay,
have Colombian guys here in Spanish, Portuguese, in English, and I will try to ask it.
go ahead. Ask questions. Ask anything.
We have yeah.
So,
Yes, a Cyprus Live tutorial by Eduardo right now.
get your notes, kids.
Exactly.
uh, so, you see this image, right? This is a fan piece that I did for Spider-Man, like a fan project, right?
But it's like personal project, right?
It's like, yeah, absolutely. It's a
Yeah.
personal project.
I was
I,
going to ask you about it.
yeah, some people asked me actually if I worked on the video game, and I was like, man, no.
But you should.
Oh man, I wish.
Man, your
It would
work
be
is
so.
your work is amazing. Uh, I wanted to tell you like your Spider-Man
Thank
work
you.
there. It looks like if you were working in the video game or even in the movie because it's great.
Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate that. So, you see how I did Venom, right?
Yeah.
People might think, okay, maybe this guy painted this stuff or used a lot of photo textures of oil or liquids. Well, maybe, but I used a lot of ZBrush in this, and I can actually show you a trick that I don't see many artists using it on the designs.
Uh
That
huh.
maybe figure artists use it to make water, but or splashes in their figures because it's super easy with this method. So I have a Z-sphere, right?
Yep.
You all recognize the Z-sphere as this amazing pattern on it. So if we go over here on Z-sketch, right, on this
Okay.
toolbar over here, we click Edit Sketch,
Okay.
right, and boom, our Z-sphere transforms. So I'm just going to change the material real quick because I don't like the other Metcat material. So if we actually gonna grab my pen over here, move the mouse. So if we start drawing,
It creates.
it
Oh.
create you're basically painting in 3D. Okay.
Using
So
CSRs. Okay.
so you can do a lot of stuff with this. You can do trees, right? Super fast, branches,
That's a great
details
trick,
like details like this, right? And of course, you can activate the symmetry and
bro.
start designing.
Paul Govry cannot compete with you.
Man, you can build anything with this. It's like imagine Medium for the Oculus, but limited, of course, to your 2D screen.
Yeah, of
You
course.
can do metal frames with this, right? You can do like a car frame. Of course, this is for the sake of demonstration. This is not pretty.
This is like using quill,
Yeah, exactly.
actually.
So you go over here, do like try to draw pretty rough stuff like this. And then what you can do is go over here on unified skin, sorry,
Yeah.
and you can click preview. And what do you get? If ZBrush doesn't crash,
It might
okay, you
crash.
have like this. You get geometry from it,
With a
and you
mesh,
can
yeah.
work with. You get the mesh, and we can bump up the resolution a little bit and extract more detail from it. So you click unified skin to make the unified skin, and you can edit this snake hook,
Go for it,
right?
yeah.
It even edit even further if you decimate it, if you divide the geometry. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, Decimation Master is like no, um, I forgot the name. Dynamesh. You can use
Mhm.
Dynamesh for it.
Oh yeah, I can also use Dynamesh. Like if I see that geometry is breaking, like over here,
Yep.
as we can see. So we can go over here on geometry, Dynamesh,
I think
and
Dynamesh is like the
Dynamesh.
best tool in the world, man.
Yeah, see, you get that detail. That's basically how I did Venom in that piece. So if you go over here, you
And
can
voila.
see these registrations. Those marks are basically 3D. And of
And
course, I
you got
use photo texture.
you texture it using UVs. Your work.
Oh, like
Or
nowadays, yes, I
okay,
do, because I learned it recently.
okay.
But back in the day when I did this image, I didn't know nothing about UVs, nothing about texturing. Uh, I just applied the Blender material with high specularity to the mesh
Mm-hmm.
and metalness all bump high and minimum roughness. And after that, it was just photo bashing for these textures, these marks over here. Color hues, different color hues, really subtle though, on some areas
That's
of his body. And yeah, that's basically how I did Venom. And you can do a lot of stuff with this, you know. As I said before, you can actually make car frames or bike frames from it if you have the patience, or if you don't own an Oculus device or a VR headset. Yeah, I advise you to experiment. Actually discovered this method by accident.
yeah.
So
Happy
back in
happy accidents. Yeah.
on the foundation course, we were supposed to use the Z-sphere and start our armature for our character, right? And I was like, oh, what is this? Edit sketch, and then I screw things up, right? And I got scared. I was like, what am I going to do? And I started clicking, and I was like, oh wait, am I building geometry?
That's
Looks
great.
like it.
So you find the tool. You found it
Yeah, by accident
by
basically. This
accident.
existed
That's.
before, right?
Have you
But
tried it
I did.
using VR, like a headset or something?
Oh yeah, man, Gravity Sketch in
Oh,
Oculus Medium, it's the best thing. It's the best
damn.
thing, actually.
So you have your Oculus and you have Gravity and you have tried it.
Yeah, man, I already tried it, and it's amazing. It's like you're drawing in actual space.
That's amazing.
Like it's really weird because you're sculpting in like out of nowhere, but I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but it's a unique uh, experience. Yeah, I advise people to try.
I have to try it. I couldn't try it in trying horse because it was so early in the morning and we never got up early. Damn it!
Oh yeah, man.
I
We
tried
were
and
going to sleep so late, and we couldn't sleep because of the heat. Like
yeah,
the weather
I
over there
swear I
was super
tried.
hot, super humid.
uh, Diogo Rodriguez is asking, would you ever consider teaching?
I don't know. I still have a lot to learn, like
Yeah.
a lot to learn. But eventually, when the time comes and I feel comfortable for it, maybe. I'm curious on teaching, but when the time is right. So
Man,
in the future.
it's a great
Right now, I still need to learn a lot.
it's a great experience. Like Uh,
You teach, right?
1 year ago, yeah, 1 year ago, I was invited to teach in a university, like being the art teacher there, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't appreciate how much you know, because you
Mm-hmm.
you take it like for granted. Like I can do this. You can do a lot of stuff there, but you don't know how much you know to do this. Like a lot of fundamentals, color, light, saturations,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
values, composition, form, structure. ZBrush,
yeah. Shape
3D, digital, a
language,
lot of stuff,
you know.
and you start to appreciate it when you start teaching. You know,
Yeah,
and when people start learning from you, it's like a great experience. A great
yeah,
feeling. Yeah? So I invite you,
yeah. To
as
be
the, as
teacher
they
of someone that
as they
it's an
tell you, like,
amazing feel.
go for it. You
Feel.
should you should try it. And
Yeah. Eventually, when I feel ready, it must be
yeah,
a hell of an
you
experience.
will. You will for sure. There's an advice that I had from Ian McKay in the Trojan Horse Was a
Yes.
Unicorn 2015, and he said, all of us, any one of us, can teach something. You know, we don't have to
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to wait until we are like the masters to teach something, because we all have something to teach. We all have something to say, and people is going to appreciate it. So I advise you, or I tell you, like, go for it. You can start doing it. Maybe if you don't have like the skills that you want to have to start learning, there's always
Mm-hmm.
there's always a point that you can start doing it. And people, I mean, you have a lot of people that is willing to learn from you, even me. So go for it, man.
Well, well, man. Now I feel like I want to teach.
Yeah, try it. I mean,
Yeah, I believe it's an amazing experience, right? That you see uh, young artists take your advice and they really like take
exactly.
it seriously. They're like, God damn, like I teach people, like I'm their mentor. It must be like an amazing feel.
Yeah, and it is
But
not.
I still found out that I need to learn a little bit more at least,
Yeah, go for
so
it.
I can, yeah, so I can teach something that it's really worth it, you
But
know?
you can teach
Because
you can teach how to get up, how to be wake up until 3 a.m. in the morning. People can appreciate that too.
okay, yeah, I can teach. Well, people can teach anything, right?
As
They all
Ian
have
McKay said, we all have something to teach.
exactly. We all have something to teach.
So he says, Sneaky John, Edu should definitely create an Udemy course. I would pay.
Udemy course.
Udemy course.
Hmm. Udemy course. Hmm.
It sounds it
I
sounds
guess.
well. Udemy course.
Yeah. Hmm. Udemy course. Well, friends of mine actually advised me to do a Patreon or a YouTube channel to
Okay.
talk about my workflow, maybe portfolio reviews, like to the audience. I think that would help a lot of young artists. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was in the time I was thinking about making a Patreon. Like I did a Patreon years back, like when I was in college. Of course, I abandoned it, right? Because I was no one in that at that time. I
Okay.
had no portfolio, right? I was trying to promote something that didn't existed yet, so I didn't had a story. Um, I didn't had a background on the video game industry. I didn't had anything on my resume, so of course it failed. But now, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, you can
Give
try
it a
it.
shot.
I
Hmm.
think today you're going to think about it.
Yes, definitely. About teaching.
Yeah, of course. I want
Professor Eduardo.
I want you to show us something that you had in your ArtStation page, and it's a character design. Why? Because I've seen a lot of keyframes, illustrations or concept art of environments, and for me it was curious to see a character design there.
Hmm. Oh,
So
characters designed from me.
yeah, you have in Art Station you have one.
I think I do one. I think I do have one.
Yeah,
The Green Goblin one, I think.
exactly.
Or
So I was curious
yeah.
about it, like why do you have that character design there in the middle of a lot of keyframe and steals and stuff?
Hmm. Uh, well, my thought at the time was show that I can do not only keyframes and not only environments. So
Okay.
I worked the character out, right? Just to diversify my portfolio a little bit. But yeah, of course, if I looked at it nowadays, I would change a lot on it. But basically, what I did with this design was I picked up references that the video game actually left on the audience. Actually, I have over here.
Okay.
So these are screenshots from the game, right? So you have this blueprint. That it's not. This is not only a fan art, right? I'm adding layers to it. I'm not
Oh,
only I'm creating something new. I'm not just copying the existing design. So actually named this concept a fan project, right?
yeah.
But I think it's good to go the extra mile and create something new out of that universe. So what Insomniac did was they left us these screenshots that would indicate that something with the Green Goblin character would happen on the next video game, on the sequel, right?
Okay.
And they left us some registration of this glider prop over here. And so, yeah, you can see like the influence on the helmet is pretty much the influence of this
Yeah, it
little
is.
sketch over here on the blueprint. So yeah, I added layers of meaning onto it, like tech wear, like how will the bodysuit work, how will it look like, how does the character move, like where are the joints need to be, um, how do you say, not corrupted by armor, right? You
Yeah.
need to think, also need to think. What I learned with this design, of course, is that on my future character designs, I must take that in count. Like, how will the character move is if it has hard surface armor onto it. Like, it's super important to be
Yeah.
believable,
Like the
right?
joints and the character to be useful, you know?
Yeah, and it needs to feel grounded, right? You need to like the audience must look at that shoulder pad and think, well, that works. That works. Like the junction works, the movement will work if it's positioned in that certain way, and the design will influence that if it makes it believable or not.
Yeah, it is
So
so important.
yeah, but over here, maybe it's not the case because
It looks,
again, this is what I learned from doing these characters, right?
it's like sticky
Yeah,
in the part of
it
the
looks like.
shoulder pads, you know?
Hmm?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it can move a lot in the part of the
Yeah,
shoulder pads.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the legs, they don't have that problem, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't have hard surface on the knee or on the, well, over here we have that problem, like the Achilles heel. Um, you would have a problem moving that foot because not really registering
Functional, yeah.
a, a movable piece over here. On the knees, we don't have that problem, but over here on the shoulders, yeah, you can definitely see that we have a movement problem over here. Yeah, it's super like you know this stuff, right? When before you create anything, you think, oh, my character needs to move like this. My character needs to have this cool badass armor, but you only learn when you actually do it and you
Exactly.
reflect your work and
Your
do
next
better
move.
next time.
Exactly. Everything is a learning, you know?
Yeah,
So, you
that's
do
sketchy.
some character art in your daily basis right now? Or
uh,
in some of
right
your
now
work?
I'm working on freelance. Basically, I mean in personal work, A little bit, but right now I usually do concept for characters for clients,
Yeah.
and in the past week I did a few character designs for CV Studios, the guys that I'm working with, studio in Malta,
The guys from
and they
Malta.
asked me,
Damn it! I can't
yes,
talk to them.
yeah, and they asked me for some stylized characters, like Pixar styled characters.
Cool.
Pixar, yeah, and yeah, I mean, as a concept artist, sometimes as a freelancer, you need to adapt several styles so you can be more approachable. But if you're aiming for a certain studio, you should keep your portfolio very consistent,
Okay.
right? But sometimes you need to show people that you can do more than just um, like realistic environments or realistic characters, right?
But for
Sometimes
example,
maybe. Hmm?
I don't see that kind of diversity in your portfolio, in your art station, for example. I see it really consistent.
Right now, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I try to build my personal pieces like with consistency, but sometimes clients ask you to do things that really aren't in your comfort zone, like stylized characters. Like they ask you to do animals sometimes, stylized animals,
Okay.
comic book stuff, and I'm like, well, sure, I can like look at reference and try to adapt it, but it's not really what it shows on my portfolio. But I mean, it's up to you if you accept that job or not. But
Okay, that's great. Because
yeah, I think you should be ready all the time to face these types of issues. You know, when a client asks for, I want a Super Mario in the Super Mario style, and you're like, well, my style is realistic, but
let's go for it.
if you don't have, yeah, if you don't have the money, and if you feel you will grow up by doing so, grow your like experience, your skill on doing stylized characters.
Yeah, that's amazing. And
But yeah,
so right now, you were telling us that clients reach you, no?
sometimes
Most of the time, or some, or it's like
like it's more of me trying to reach out for them
okay.
than the other way around.
But I think that
Uh,
you have a really good portfolio and really good personal pieces that are going to call the attention of the clients. And I think that's so important, you know. Your personal pieces are
thanks.
going to show what you're made of.
Thank you. But I think it's about my consistency on posting on social media that maybe people aren't reaching me out as much as I would like to. Because
Okay.
like I post 3 images in a week and spend maybe 4 months without posting anything,
Yeah, that's
and people
super important.
eventually.
That's an
So
advice
you,
that a lot of people do, like be consistent in posting as
yes,
well as in your work. I mean, let people know you. So
yeah,
I haven't tried it either, but it's important.
yeah, man. But sometimes it's hard because you're working on, sometimes on freelance, you're working with several projects at once, and
Yeah,
you're like, man, I can show it because it's on NDA, and I want to make personal projects, but I don't have the time to develop them. And sometimes you get frustrated because you want to show people that you still exist in doing art, but sometimes you don't have the time, and that's reasonable, right? You
it
don't
is.
blame yourself for not posting. I mean, it's normal. We've all been through there.
It's
So
it's part of
it's
the.
better to wait and actually create good content than trying to rush things out and not be consistent,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's yeah, as you said, understandable, and I think it's part of the job too. You know,
Yeah,
if you want to get some jobs, just post. But first of all, the most important part of it is creating good job, creating good stuff. So
yes.
it's like a
You
balance
have
of
like, and you can take it as a hobby that may sketch a day, right? So you have a day to create a sketch, like for the rest of the month. Like every day you post a sketch. That's good to develop. How do you say consistency on your work hours or how much you work.
Yeah.
But I mean, one day to create an image, don't you feel that it's too rushed, like just for the sake of posting it? Do you think that you
Yes.
would put those pieces on your portfolio, or do
Yeah.
you think it would need more time for you to polish what you did and rethink and reevaluate what you did for it to be really good and be proud to show to people?
Yeah, it happens to me a lot because sometimes I don't have time to polish it like as much as I could, or as much as I would like to. And
Yeah.
sometimes I, like for the sake that people see that I'm still in the, in the path. Sometimes I try to get out with some piece that maybe is not the best, like the best
Hmm.
presented, but I feel comfortable with it. And sometimes it's hard to find the time to to do it right. So for me,
Yeah,
sometimes it's
absolutely.
hard, but it happens a lot when I have to do characters for my ArtStation portfolio. I don't
Hmm.
post them if I don't feel comfortable with it. At least in ArtStation. In Instagram, it's fine to post some whips and stuff, but for
Yeah.
ArtStation, if I don't feel good with it, I don't post it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your I feel that the art station is your professional image and Instagram image is just, well, I made a sketch, I'm going to post it, right? You shouldn't take Instagram super seriously as you should on your website or your art station.
Yeah, I mean, I think Instagram is important because people will see that you are working, you know, that
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
doing stuff, and what you're going to show to your clients is your station. So it's a different
Yeah.
medium. It's a different, you know, portfolio kind of stuff.
Yeah, obviously. And people are addicted to Instagram too, so
Ah,
if
fuck,
you're
man,
not
it's
in
crazy.
if you're not on their feed, you will be like, oh, this guy's probably dead or quitted art or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I try to put as much at least drawing sketches that I can do it like in a week, for example, not in months like a 3D. Eduardo, tell us what is your
Yes.
favorite piece of yours, of your work?
Ooh, that's a hard one, man.
Let's go
That's a
for it.
really hard question. Man, I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea.
Or tell us what is the one
Maybe
that you
this
enjoy
one.
the most doing
I
it.
think this one.
Let me see.
I
Okay.
would I would probably choose this one because it came out exactly the way I wanted it to come out.
What you were thinking?
Like, what about the concept behind this image?
No, no, no. I was just telling that it goes out the way that you were thinking it.
Why? Like,
No, no, no.
the
Like you said, it like you were. I mean, the image you were thinking was that one, and it came perfect.
but
Yeah,
it
kind of.
what? It went perfect.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Keep going. I'm so sorry. My English maybe is not that
I
good.
got a little bit confused, Andres.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
It's my bad. It's my bad.
It's mine. It's
But
mine.
yeah, I don't usually like a lot of my pieces, the ones that I do. But if a piece comes out exactly the way I pictured it in my head, I'm like, okay, this is my favorite image now because, yeah, I don't know. I was really thinking about the interaction between characters, like the movement, the dynamics of it, like the atmosphere. It just came out perfectly as I had in mind. Like
It's perfect.
it translated exactly what I pictured in my mind. Maybe because I'm too judgmental to on my pieces. I like to nitpick them a lot. And you can nitpick on these ones, of course. You can nitpick on this one. But I don't know, man. I just there are just images that speak to you, and sometimes you don't know why. Like this one came out straight out from my head, like perfectly the way I intended it to, and I don't know. I think this one is probably my favorite one from the things I have now.
I can feel it too, man. It's good because I can feel how like everything can be like in slow motion out there, and this guy is like walking straight without seeing any other action. Like I can
Yeah,
imagine a movie.
you know,
I can imagine a
there.
movie there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a very. It's an image with a lot of tension. You know, you have tension between characters on all of the image. You see a lot of movement. You see a lot of interaction, but this character isn't affected by it. You know, he's
Yeah.
just. You see that this character has power. Like he doesn't need to get in a fight with these workers over here. He just walks by all the confusion. I don't know. Um,
He needs to
it
go to
has a
the
lot of
bathroom.
information. Yeah, I think it has enough information for you to be like, oh, okay, that works. That's cool.
Yeah,
Like the contrast on movement and how
and
this
the
character is almost
place
static.
the place is
Yeah.
amazing, and the way that you over like you use over like light in the left, like a lot of light there, a
Yes.
lot of high values there is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's. I also love this piece just because of the contrast you have on lights and darks, right? On the values, you have a lot
It's a
of
good one.
contrast
You
over
should
here.
print it and put it in your home.
I'm going to print this on my car and drive it around
Yeah, in your doors.
on my door. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
What is the name of this? Love haste, heist,
Look, yeah, this
love
was
heist.
one of the keyframes I did for the CGMA course with
Okay,
Ricardo Lima.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Do you
you
recommend
can see the
CGMA course?
um, I have a lot of other keyframes that I did for the project.
Do you
Part one,
do
part.
you recommend people to have to take CGMA courses?
If I advise people to take them,
Yeah.
man, absolutely. I mean, the course I did with Ricardo was amazing. I felt that I learned so much about keyframes and cinematic compositions. Like, you study a lot of movie compositions in the course, and you adapt those rules and principles to your own work, to your own creations and illustrations. And it's super, like, uh, it's a mind opener, you know. I
Nice.
advise at least this course. I don't know about the other courses at CGMA, but I believe they're amazing too. But I really liked taking this course with him.
Nice. That's nice. Sneaky John is asking us, like, can you show us Spider-Man looking at Venom?
Oh, Spider-Man looking at Venom. This one over here, I think.
Yeah. Right. That's a really good one. I love that piece.
Oh, on this one, I actually didn't use 3D at all. This is all
What?
photo batch.
Okay.
Yeah, this one was all about photos.
And
It took
cars
me
as
a
well.
little
Damn it.
longer because I tried to change this building as much as I could. Like, there are about 10 pictures just over here, like 10 references just on this facade. And yeah, and one advice that I can tell you is you can you should not only limit yourself to one photo to create like your focal point. Like you have limitless photos. Why should you just rely on one photograph? You can just transform, pick um, more photos, mix and match to see what works. And yeah, I think you shouldn't limit yourself to just one photo to represent your focal point. But yeah, all photos. This one is all
Okay.
photos. I used
That's
Blender on
nice.
this one.
Use Blender on this one. Okay. So like the
Yeah, I
subway
used
is done in 3D.
yeah, I did the base for the body in 3D, so it can help me with the perspective, with the camera lenses, to see how the arm will morph, the legs will morph.
But
And I
the
use
character is done in Photoshop or in 3D too.
hmm?
The 3D character,
What?
I mean, the Spider-Man is a 3D character.
This one over here, yeah. It's like a DAS model, I think. And of
Okay.
course, I had to like paint his suit by hand because I couldn't, at the time, I couldn't find proper photos to use on top of the DAS model. But it's okay. I think it turned out okay.
But you
Um,
control the lights in the render or in Photoshop.
uh, what this figure over here?
Like the light, like over lights.
Oh, this one's over here. Like this, I
Yeah.
use the base for this platform over here. Like this dome, this arch over here. Some of the some of these platforms over here was also done in 3D. Venom is 3D. And a lot like these details over here. Maybe I can zoom in. Yeah, these details over here, this is photos. These are photos with overpaint on them. Yeah. Pretty much give it away over here with the overpaint, right? Like the edges over here. But it's not the focal point, so it doesn't need to be really polished. Like over here. This is our focal point.
I love
Right.
I love how you can create great atmospheres in your images, and you
Mm-hmm.
use a lot just like in the last piece, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
contrast between light and dark values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about contrast. I'm a guy that likes contrast a lot. That's why I create a lot of dark, moody atmospheres, so I can extract a hard light on them.
Do you use
I don't know.
thumbnails to create it?
What? Sorry?
Thumbnails like thumbnails?
Oh, thumbnails. Yeah, I actually
Thumbnails.
did a few storyboards in this post.
Okay.
Like the ones that I actually used to create this, I didn't edit over here. But I had the sketch for this one, like the composition. It was a little different, of course, because I didn't have the 3D model. I didn't draw the 3D model on the thumbnail, so it was like a really simple figure to test out the composition over there. Um, Back then, I wasn't thinking about these details, of course. It was just a simple shape. And translate that to 3D, put on your cameras, overpaint, and it's done. That's basically it. Yeah, same thing for here. There are shots that sometimes I don't feel the need to create variations on thumbnails on it because I have a clear picture in my head like this is going to look like this and I want it exactly to look like this. Like Spider-Man is going to be over here and Venom is going to be over here. And of course, practice on fundamentals because if you already know your fundamentals, you almost know that this will almost 100% work. Like
Yeah.
so yeah.
You have a
So
good
in my
structure
head
for it.
I organized this picture in my head like previously before actually doing any thumbnails and I was like, yeah, just jump to 3D, I already know what I want. Let's go.
That's so
So
good, man. You control a lot perspective, you know, light
mhm.
and dark values. That's amazing. Tell us what is next for Eduardo.
What is next for me?
Yeah, I mean,
Teaching.
what are yeah, what are your dreams in the industry? What are your projects?
uh, I just want to work with amazing people, man, on amazing projects. Like right now I feel that I really want to get in a movie studio, VFX company. Like Framestore would be amazing. ILM one day would be amazing. Work with those big guys, that's the ultimate dream, right? But let's see. Only future will tell.
Yeah, you're in the right path, man. Have you seen
Yeah.
Stephen Corman?
I know his work, yeah. And I met him at THU last year.
Yeah, he's super nice.
He's super cool dude. Yeah.
Super nice. Yeah, he was aiming to work for ILM and he did it. You know,
He did.
I met
I think he
him.
did.
I think he did. I think he did
I
to
think he
work like
did.
at
Yeah.
least freelance for them for some projects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he worked in Jurassic Park franchise.
Mm,
So he
yeah.
was
Big
so good.
title, man.
So you
That's a big
can
title.
definitely do it as well as Pablo Carpio. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, man. I know him. I met him back in 2017.
That's crazy
Yeah, man.
how we all met in
So,
Trojan Horse was a unicorn, bro.
yeah, absolutely, man. It's amazing. I love that event. It's such an experience. You meet everyone over there.
It is
You
such
meet
an experience,
everyone.
man. So maybe we can see each other next year.
Oh, hopefully, man. I
Yeah,
really want to.
I'll try to go there as well, man. I'll work my ass up to go there. Trojan Horse was a unicorn
I already
2021.
put a small amount of money aside just to save it up for the ticket. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm going. I'm going, man. I don't care.
yeah, I should do it too, man.
COVID won't kill me. COVID-19 can't kill
Oh
me.
fuck, COVID-19, bro. That's a this is a crazy situation. I was talking to you that when I first reached you in Instagram, I was remembering the stuff we did when we were in Trojan Horse and we were in
Yeah.
Malta, and I was thinking about it like, man, we were so happy, we were free,
There
we
was
had
no worries in the world.
yeah, we had such a good experience there, and now look at us in a
Stuck at
lockdown
home.
home. You know, it's crazy. It's to value these kind
Well,
of
yeah,
experiences.
let's think positive. This will all end soon, and we can have a few beers at Trojan Horse in
And it's going to
2021.
be better. It's going to be better for sure, man.
Oh man, it's going to be double the fun for sure. For
For
sure.
sure. Let's go for it, bro.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
I was going to ask you as well. This is kind of a
Yes.
more personal question,
Oh,
but what are you afraid of?
what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Hmm. Good question.
We have different fears,
I
you
don't
know.
know. I don't know, man. Tigers, maybe. Like not. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm afraid that on my end years, like when I'm too old, like almost near death, and look back at my progress as an artist and be unhappy with it. Like I want to
Oh.
feel that I accomplished something, right? Like all the things that I do now weren't in vain. At least I left a mark or teach someone like you that you followed my steps. That would be really cool. But if I don't have that by the time I die, maybe that's my biggest fear, right?
Wow.
I think like I don't think there's another thing that occurred to me right now. Like got me offhanded right there.
Okay, that's
I
crazy
think
because
that would
you
be
got me thinking about it. Like I've been, I mean, I have a dream too in the art life, and it's been hard to follow it because, like, you know, we need the job and we need to start to earn some money, and I have to take different jobs,
put
and
the food on the table. Yeah,
yeah, and right
absolutely.
now like the jobs don't give me the time to work properly in my art, so it's been hard, but I want to, you know, want to evolve in my art, and I want to work as a character artist in different companies, in great projects,
Yes.
as you said. So for me, it's like I want to quit my job, and I want to
Hmm.
start learning and evolving and doing more art because I know I can do it. But sometimes it's like the fear, you know, it's the fear of what is
Mm.
going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's
Someone
good.
is going to
Yeah,
pay for it. Am I going to be able to live from this? And but you know, it's hard.
yeah. At that position, it's risky because if you're living alone or if you pay your bills, your own bills, that could be a risky move, right? Because just you can't just stop getting your paychecks, right? You need
Yeah,
to pay the bills, you need to put the food on the table. So to do that, you need to make a big plan, I think. Really organize your finances and man, shoot for the sky, right? You have to work hard, you have to be super dedicated, super focused,
yeah,
and give your 110%. But yeah, man, sometimes it's hard to leave just everything and pursue our dreams, right? There are a lot of people that I know that weren't able to do that. Like they want to pursue an art career, but life doesn't let them.
yeah. It's
Sometimes
hard.
it's hard for some people.
It's hard when I have a. I mean, I have a good job and kind of a good salary here in Colombia, and sometimes what you think, okay, I'm going to risk that stability
Hmm.
to pursue my dream, but I think I will do it. I think that this is the year. So, but first,
Hmm.
first of all, I need to save for the Trojan horse was only going to 2021.
Yes.
Well,
Um, I know for that, I think you need to be super ready. So, personally, I never had that uh, position. Like, I need to quit my job to pursue my dream because I honestly never worked on a steady job since I left. Since I left college, I started freelancing. Of course, work isn't constant. Like,
yeah,
there are a few months that I don't have any gigs, and I'm like, I'm a super like uh, I wouldn't say picky with money, but I save a lot of money. Like I don't waste all of my money on useless things, because as a freelancer, you don't have that benefit. You need to think for the day of tomorrow, right?
yeah, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I think
So I guess, man, you have to plan that out pretty well, but I think you can do it. You have the potential. So
thank you very much,
cheers,
man.
man. I'm
Let's go for it.
cheering for you.
Here I'm
Let's go for
talking.
it.
I'm talking to teacher Eduardo, the future teacher of
Future teacher,
future teacher of
future
he.
YouTuber.
You like illustration or just concept art?
Hmm. I like both. You know, I think one thing pulls for another, like concept art. You create concept art to create a movie or a video game. So I like to see I like to see a finished product, and I like to see the steps it took to make that um, finalized product. Like I like to see the score of the movie. I like to hear the score of the movie. I like to see the illustrations, the keyframes, the concept design, the costume design, makeup, VFX. I like to see the complete pack
Amazing.
that yeah, that raised the movie or the video game. But yeah, illustration and concept art, I like to see them both. Concept art can inspire you a lot more because are unique ideas. In illustration art, you can extract pretty good information from illustration too, like mood, um, colors, compositions. Like, and nowadays, it blends a lot. Concept art is blending a lot with illustration, and sometimes people name an illustration as a concept art and the other way around. You
Yeah.
know, you go to art station and you're like, okay, let's see concept art, and
I think it's
mainly
a
illustrations, right?
it's a close line between concept art and illustration nowadays, at least in the
Yeah,
industry.
nowadays, yeah, in the industry, it's like a super thin line
Yeah.
that is vanishing slow now at a bigger rate, but back then it was a thick line that separated concept art and illustration. And nowadays, concept artists have that obligation uh, to know how to illustrate, to know how to do all of these crazy, super cool images and know how to design, right? And I don't know. It's a super thin line nowadays, and you need to be, as a concept artist, ready to do illustration too.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. And the thing is that some people don't know what is illustration. What's the difference for you between illustration and concept art?
well, concept art is mainly creating um, new like new designs and new ideas that can touch the viewer or the player. Like, wow, this works this way, because the artist thought it premeditated about the problem and came up with a solution. The illustrator mainly has some strict, at least it's that way. So the illustrator only has fixed directions. The design is already set up, and just illustrate like this character that our concept artist created, and pose him like this on this certain environment, and like Magic the Gathering cards,
Okay.
you have the mats.
All the design is already done.
Hmm?
Yeah. For my Magic the Gathering, all the designs are already done. They just have to
Yeah,
illustrate them.
yeah, absolutely. They hire like a set of illustrators. You already have the design set up, and they just have to design them in a moody picture, on a moody environment, sorry, or on a bright environment. But they need to know um, color fundamentals, and
Oh
they
yeah.
still need to know, all of them, like concept artists and illustrators both have to know all of the
Great.
same fundamentals.
All of you are great artists then. Illustrators,
Yeah,
concept artists, they need to be really great artists to do it.
yeah. But nowadays it's a little harder to distinguish concept artists and illustrators, you know, because as we discussed before, the line is getting thinner and thinner. And probably nowadays studios ask concept artists to make like super high production value illustrations, right?
Yeah.
The same for video games and movies. Like there's a thin line that it's always also vanishing um between video game production and movie production. Like the production on video games has grown so much in the past years. Um, you have Last of Us for an example. Last of Us Part Two looks like you're playing a movie, right?
Exactly.
They
It's like
set
an
the bar
interactive.
so
It's like
high.
an interactive movie.
Yeah, they set the bar so high that I don't know, man. It's amazing what they're doing nowadays. Like the video game is clashing with the movie industry. It's amazing. The product, super high value, super high production, and
And, uh,
yeah,
and nowadays it's crazy because we have not only movies, but we have TV shows, we have series, we have Netflix, we have video games. All of them are telling us stories, are great storytellers, and
yes,
industry is moving between these three kind of stuff, right? Like TV series, movies, and video games. And now we have VR and AR. So it's like different mediums, different narratives, different kind of storytelling mediums. It's great.
yeah. They're basically VR has revolutionized all media, right? Because you can be actually in an environment that you created, and that's insane. I mean, that's it's not the same thing as looking at your screen and you're like, "Whoa, that's a cool environment." In VR, you're there, right?
But you can walk
It's
through it,
amazing.
yeah.
You can go through it. You can walk past by it. You can hop on your spaceship that you created on Oculus Medium and create the environment for it. It's amazing. Like it's the next big step. The next big step, and it has a lot of potential. Good things will come from VR, definitely.
You told us that you were working in VR too. What is the difference between working in video games, movies, and VR, for example?
Mm. VR, you have to take in count all of the surroundings. So what I did for recent gig on VR is to design the skybox, right? The 360 panoramic picture of the environment. Actually, I never did that before. It was super interesting to work on every perspective of the level, and I also worked on buildings
Okay.
for that. Yeah, I'm still working on that VR title. But yeah,
That's
I created a bunch of environment assets, and yeah, I think it's not too different. Um, but like the only different part that I felt it was like brand new was designing the skybox for the game
oh
because the player will obviously will look all the ways, like in all perspectives. You have to be ready to be the skybox to be super polished because the viewer will know where are mistakes, where I was clumsy on where
yeah.
I was more where I was more rough on painting. You know, you had to be in VR. It's not as much forgiving as working with uh,
You need to pay more
a
attention to the
2D media.
details.
Mhm.
You need to pay more attention to the details in VR.
Yeah,
So
yeah. On every detail, on every perspective, every viewport needs to be like spot on.
crazy. That's crazy, man. Man, you're going to show us some NDA work here.
Unfortunately, I can't. I would love to show, but I've been picking on CV studios like, can I show this work, please? Can I show this work? And they're like, not yet, Eduardo. You need to wait. And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
look at
that's
this,
crazy,
man.
man.
Okay, but yeah, good
Uh,
things will come.
Actually,
Good things will.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys and if you notice. Maybe I told you. I want to organize an art event here in Colombia. I want to
Yes.
organize a kind of a Trojan horse was a unicorn here in Colombia because we don't have this kind of events, you know. And I want to create something big, something cool for artists of the region. And this year I'm organizing the Crad Art Fest online, you know.
Oh man!
So
Wow.
this is crazy. This is so crazy. I have we have a workshop from an illustrator of Marvel Studios, and
Damn, that's
we'll have
amazing.
yeah, that's cool. She's super nice, and she's super talented, and she's going to give like a 2 hour workshop. So it's crazy. We'll have. I don't know if you met Jennifer Wesling last year in the Train Horse.
I think yeah, yeah, I did.
She's going to give
Works at
us
Riot.
what? Sorry.
She works at Riot still, right?
Yeah, she's there,
Yeah.
and she's going to give us a portfolio reviews
Oh,
in the
nice.
event, and we'll have Pablo Munoz. He was there as well in the Train Horse from Cibros Guides,
Mm.
and Marlon Nunez as well, a 3D character artist from Spain. And actually, okay, I will have Jean Fras. Jean Fres. It's like a character designer from France
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be there as well. And I was talking yesterday to Mushk, the girl from Marvel Studios, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Are you going to record this?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe we can have the record." And she was like, "Okay, so I'm not going to show any NDA work." And I was like, "Oh man, it's really
Man,
hard
you
because."
ruined for life
And
if you show it people.
I told her we cannot control that people is not going to record screens, you know.
Yeah,
So you shouldn't show us any NDA because I cannot control what people is going to do at home.
obviously, and once it goes on the internet, it never will be deleted, right?
Exactly. It's in the cloud. So
So
I told
it's
her like
really
I would love it.
dangerous.
I would love it, but you shouldn't do it. Just save it for next year.
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard.
my philosophy too, man. NDA work, it's super precious. You signed a contract for it, so you might get in serious trouble if you share that
And
work,
it is a
right?
super
And you
strict
don't want to.
contract.
get your name dirty, right? Because you share like an NDA work, then no client wants to work with you.
And in a live stream.
In the live stream, yeah, guys, I work on that this title. Can't tell you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy because all the contracts are super restricted. And
Yeah.
actually, I did some work last year on some kind of peanuts and some organic stuff. Uh, and like 1 year later, the commercial came out, and I saw it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What? I was working for this brand, and I didn't know it." It was crazy because all the confidential part is like super
Damn.
strict. I didn't even know what I was doing, and for
Yeah.
whom I was doing it.
Sometimes they give like code names for the titles that even artists like 3D
Yeah.
artists don't even know what the game is about. I think
Yeah,
they did that for Call of Duty. They named some gibberish to the project. Came out to be Call of Duty, and people were like, "Whoa, what the hell? I worked for Call of Duty. I didn't even know it was Call of Duty."
I was talking to Soren, and he was like, "I worked on Love, Death, and Robots." You know, he was
Mhm.
doing some character art and some concept art for Love, Death, and Robots for Blur Studios, and he didn't know what he was doing. He just do the work, and months or years later, he watched a short in Love, Death, and Robots, and he was like, "Oh, I can kind of relate with the story. I noticed I worked on this," but he realized months later by watching the TV show.
Damn, it
Yeah.
must be. Imagine, imagine if someone else did that job. Like, imagine like if you didn't actually know, didn't believe that that was your work.
Yeah.
Who the hell stole my work? Who the hell stole my design?
Oh man, that's
No,
crazy.
actually, yeah, it's like a big surprise to have like
And yeah,
your
he
work featured on something that you didn't knew the title for.
that's the important of the credits, you know, at the end of any production.
Yes, yes.
So that's the way that we can know that we worked on certain projects.
Yeah. Now imagine if someone isn't like really much into web series or movies or video games.
Exactly.
Yeah,
For
like
example,
I
he'll
do the
never know.
work, but I don't check the credits or I don't check the projects that I worked on. And you're like, man, your
You
friends
might
would be like, man, you were on the credits for that video game, and I was, and you can be like, what do you mean? Oh, I worked for that video game. They used a different code name.
it might be really frustrating if you don't see your credits in the productions that you work on.
Yeah, man, you can you can, I don't know, sue the guys that don't give you credits on the end credits.
That sucks,
That's
man.
just that fucking sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, do you have any question here to Eduardo?
Question.
This is your
Questions.
time. Go for it. I don't know if we have Colombian guys here, or just Portuguese guys, or Spain guys.
Do you want to learn Portuguese, Andres?
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Okay, what do you want to learn?
Okay. Eu. How is it? Can, like puedo. Eu puedo.
Hmm? How do you say what? Sorry?
Like I can do it.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Eu não consigo.
Eu não consigo.
Yeah. What can't you do?
If I can say eu consigo falar português. Eu consigo falar português.
Yeah? Yeah, you can.
Is it?
You can.
Oh yeah, great.
There you go.
Eu consigo falar português. How to say en este momento, in this moment,
Neste momento.
neste momento. Eu consigo
Yes.
falar português neste momento.
Wow. Man, you did it. Congratulations. Come to Portugal now.
Let's go for it, man. I would love to. I'm in love with Lisbon. The first time I went there,
Yeah.
I'm in love with Lisbon. I would definitely live there for sure.
Oh, it's super expensive, man, to live in Lisbon.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's like people find like it's almost impossible to live in Lisbon at this point. The rents are so high, right?
Where do you live right now?
I live in a nearby city that is Montijo.
Montijo.
Montijo, yeah,
Montijo.
yes.
Okay.
So it's like 20 minutes from Lisbon.
Okay, it's nice. So you go there by
Yeah,
car or something?
yeah, by car or
Train?
I take the ferry or the bus and super close. So yeah, I sometimes go to Lisbon and
Yeah,
go hang out with my friends, visit museums, places. It's cool.
yeah.
It's cool.
I was in love with it. I was in love
Yeah,
with Porto as well. But Sneaky John is asking us, what are you working right now? Personal projects
where?
only, no NDA.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't tell you the titles.
Don't worry, guys.
But yeah,
He's working on Avengers, on the next Avengers.
oh, we don't know. Maybe,
We'll never know.
maybe. Well, eventually, eventually, I will know that I worked for that movie, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. You
ending
will.
credits, I'll be like, oh shit, I worked for this one.
Yeah. Can you show us what are you working right now in a personal project? Like,
Oh yeah. So right now, I'm still sharing the screen, right?
yep, you're still sharing the screen.
Oh, great. So I have a few clips over here.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So I am basically trying to make an animation short in Blender. So I'm starting to learn cloth simulation and how to integrate animation in Blender, like taking it to the next step. So this is what I'm experimenting with. Like, these are raw renders, correct? And what I'm trying to do is paint on top of them and let the animation run. So in this case, I'm doing this.
Okay. Like painting frame by frame?
It's like no, no, no. Oh man, I couldn't do that. It would take me forever. What I'm doing is I'm painting one frame, right? And I'm masking the area where movement takes
Okay,
place.
okay.
So all I need to do is paint one frame, export all of it, and mask where the
It's
movement
moving,
will
yeah.
happen. So we have this movement, right? Of course, these are really rough. I still need to polish this, certain polished level.
And
But
this is like a Dance Studio character or what?
oh no, no, I actually sculpted this character in ZBrush and assembled all the parts in Blender, exported it, made the UVs, that 3D boring part, and then
Yeah.
implemented implemented the animation on top of it, and you get this like set of shots. I don't know. It's fun to explore like new ways that Blender can help on your workflow, and yeah, I mean, I'm working on this right now as a side personal project,
That's a nice man.
but
That's a
I didn't
nice
have
one. Really.
much time to work on this, but I promise you I will get this done by the end of the week.
Go for it, man. We will
I
expecting
will try to
to
get this
watch it.
done. I will try to get this done. But yeah, that's what I'm working right now on my spare time. Uh,
That's great.
when I'm not working on client work. But yeah, that's it, I
Sneaky John
guess.
is asking, do you think a full motion picture could be done with this stack?
With the style.
With this stack? I don't know, maybe he was talking about like coloring one part, masking it, animation, doing
Ooh,
animation.
like a full movie out of it, like the way that I just showed you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be hard. I don't know, man. Imagine if you have like a battle scene. Imagine the frames that you would have to mask. like the visual effects, the character movements,
But maybe
props flying.
you can use a green screen for it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, true. Yeah, I could met. Yeah, basically, I think you can. But the thing is, I still don't have the knowledge to like morph characters, like the mesh, like for example, make face animations. I still don't know how to do that. I
Okay.
just all I know is to export, um, make some more animations and import it to Blender, and that's it, man. And it's still in early stages, but there's a lot to learn from Blender, and I will definitely give more time to learn, like animation simulations, like particle simulations in Blender.
That's great,
I'm,
man.
I plan to learn a lot more on Blender. Yes.
Did you try Maya or 3ds Max or just go straight to Blender?
Oh, I tried 3ds Max once,
Yeah.
and the UI just scared me, man. I didn't know how to navigate through it, and I was like, nah, I think I'm good with ZBrush. Like, nah, screw it.
Okay, I
I don't
love
need
3ds
Maya
Max.
yet. We don't know if eventually I will learn Maya, but right now I will pass. I will give it a pass.
Okay, okay. I know 3ds Max and I know Maya and I love 3ds Max, man. I kind of get lost in Maya.
Mm.
That's a lot of stuff.
Well, Maya, I kind of used Maya like a few times just to make automatic UVs on the characters, but then I just found out that Blender does the same thing, and I was like, oh fuck Maya.
Okay, I definitely need to learn Blender, bro.
Yeah, man, you can do anything in Blender. You can make a movie in Blender.
That's amazing.
You can 2D animation in Blender, concept sketching in Blender. It's amazing. You should give it a try.
I will do it. I will do it, man. I hope to finish the video that I am doing in 3ds Max, so I can show it to you and all of you guys. It's crazy. I hope to finish it soon, because the idea is
Soon.
that use that video to introduce my event. Just like some videos that introduce Trojan Horse was a unicorn. I did my own kind of introduction to the event.
And I can't wait to see that.
Let's
Tell
go
me
for
one
it.
thing. When you launch it, tell me so I can launch my 2D teaser, like my 3D teaser for the things that I just showed you.
Yeah,
We will
yeah,
do it
yeah, for sure.
at the same time.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I hope to finish it, to take it out the 3rd of July.
Mm,
So we have 2
okay.
weeks for it.
Oh, nice. Okay. I think I
So
can do it in 2 weeks.
let's
I
go
was
for it.
programming it for next week and not sleep for days and keep pushing these animations. But yeah, 2 weeks sounds good for me.
Let's go for it. And if you want, we can show it in the event too. In the first ceremony, inaugural ceremony.
Yes.
We can show
We should
your
make a
animation too.
presentation.
Yeah, of course. Well, this is like we're getting to the end of the live stream. Sneaky John says Blender works perfectly with Unity engine. That's great. Yeah,
The, yeah.
I haven't tried Unity too much, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's cool.
Me neither. Me neither.
And we
I
should
heard it's
you
very
should
good.
try Unity and Unreal as well.
Yeah. Super. Man, have you seen the Unity 5 demo?
I haven't.
Man, go check it out.
I will do it
It's
as
it's
soon as we finish
surreal.
the video.
It's surreal. I still don't understand. I still think it's fake news.
Is it?
I mean, it's impossible.
You said Unity 5 or Unreal 5?
Oh, I think it's Unity. Unreal. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Unreal.
Right? It's Unreal, right?
Yeah, it's so fucking good, man. Next gen real time demo. That's amazing.
It's insane. They use polys as pixels now.
What the fuck?
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know if it is closed technology or it is going to happen like in a few years, but it looks so amazing. It looks so real.
Yeah, in a few years, I guess.
So we'll have
I heard.
we'll have a lot
I
of
heard
movies
that
done in Unreal.
streaming, like the information in pixels from a render farm, and they're basically streaming for the computers or the engine. That's how they get all of the pixels in the images.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
only way. It's the only way.
it looks amazing. Actually have to talk about it like with a friend of mine on Real 5. Yes, so uh, I want to tell you, all of you guys, and you as well, Eduardo. I don't know if you are in the YouTube channel right now.
Oh, let me open it on my other tab. Yes.
Okay, so guys, I want to show you this stuff. I have these Crad sessions here in Instagram, so I invite you to follow us. And we are organizing this art fest. Let me wait for this. Okay. ¿Sí? ¿Está bueno? This wasn't like. Okay. So I am organizing this Crad Art Fest online. I will have some speakers like Mush Risby from Marvel Studios. She's going to do a workshop in the event in English. We'll have a portfolio review of Jennifer Wesling from Riot Games. We'll have a workshop, portfolio review, and a talk with Camilo Castro from DreamWorks. You know, he's a Colombian guy that works in DreamWorks. So I invite you to check it out. You know, in Instagram, Crad sessions here, and maybe if you want to go and enter the event, let's go for it. It's going to be really cool. We'll have 3D animation, 2D animation, concept art, illustration, 3D, and a lot of more stuff. So go for it, check it out. And I invite you as well to subscribe to the channel. We'll have more live sessions with different great artists in the upcoming Sundays. I already talked to Jean Fraisse, a character designer from France, so he's going to be with us soon, so check it out. And I already talked to a guy from Marvel Studios as well, a 3D guy from Marvel Studios that is going to be with us like in July or in August. So guys, subscribe to this channel and give some love to Eduardo, please.
Thank you.
This guy is
Thank you, Andres.
amazing, a great person. I got the honor to be with him in the Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn. He was my roommate. You know, we share apartment with Nuno, with Maria, with Eduardo. It was a great experience. It was so good.
Super fun. It was
Super fun. I have the picture that we took the last day. You remember?
Yes, I do remember the pictures, not the picture.
The
The
pictures.
pictures.
Yeah. I have some of them, so I'm going to send it to you. If you have some, please send it to me.
Oh yes, I will search for them right now.
Yeah. So this guy is amazing. His work's amazing, and he's like super young. How old are you? How old are you, Eduardo?
Me, I'm 23.
Yeah, so
Soon to be
super
24.
young, man. That's crazy. 23,
Thanks,
and he
man.
already have like super great work and 3 years of experience in the industry. So the sky is the limit, bro. Go for it.
Yes, same to you, man. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Thank you very much, man. I'm 28, so it's 5 years ahead of you.
Oh man.
Respect
So
the
you're
experience, bro.
competition. Respect. Man,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
Like-
for accepting the invitation. Thank you, all of you guys, for being with us. It's Nicky John.
Thank you.
For asking a lot of questions here. Nuno, Joao, Diogo, Miguel, Miguel, Katia, Katrina, Tiago, all of you, thank you very much. And I hope to have you another time. Just let me know. You are super invited. Whenever you want to talk to us, whenever you want to show your work, go for it. We will be super happy to have you here as well. Anytime.
Amazing.
So
Thank you so much, Andres.
I'm going to finish here the emission. So all of you guys, thank you very much. See
Thank you,
you
Andres. Thank you,
later.
guys.
Finally.